Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of GeoPod. I'm your host Dylan Woods. Today I like to take a moment to discuss the recent tit-for-tat exchanges between Hezbollah and Israel, which seems to have escalated this time around, at least regarding the volume and the intensity of the attacks. So for those of you that don't know, Israel has launched a preemptive campaign against Hezbollah, targeting dozens of potential launch sites from which Hezbollah aimed to launch their rockets and their missiles as part of a large-scale offensive campaign against Israel. So Israel destroyed dozens and dozens of these launch sites, including weapon depots, fighters, and all the resources, material, and weapon systems that were present. And in the aftermath of that, Hezbollah launched a large-scale rocket and missile attack on the north and central of Israel, consisting of approximately over 300 projectiles, all of which were either neutralized or have landed near non-critical infrastructure, let's say. So, first of all, what is very interesting to note is that apparently the IDF had intelligence that Hezbollah was about to launch a large-scale attack consisting of thousands and thousands of projectile weapons towards Israel as part of the retaliation of one of its most high-standing commanders mere weeks ago. The reason why this is interesting is that as of right now, an Iranian retaliatory effort remains absent, right? And the consensus with analysts, with intelligence agencies and military planners all around the globe is that an eventual retaliatory effort will consist of not only the forces of Iran, but also those of its proxy network within the region. So what this assumes, what this hints at rather, is that the proxies of Iran are growing impatient. They are ready to go. They've been posturing up for this very moment, and they don't seem to understand, or don't seem to sympathize rather, with Iranian delays. So it's very interesting for me that Hezbollah was willing to go at it alone and not wait for direct Iranian approval or for direct Iranian support in such an endeavor. So what this tells us is that there's a growing disunity, or a likely growing disunity, among Iran's proxy network. As I've said many times in the clips before, is that Iran's proxy network is a two-way street. It isn't just that Hezbollah, the Houthis, Kataib Hezbollah, Hamas are their servants and just act on their whim. No, it's a very fluent and sometimes delicate partnership that is based upon giving and taking. Iran has the loyalty of its proxy networks for as long as they are able to project the status of a powerful overlord, let's say, who is willing and able to act when it needs to act. However, what we've seen over the course of the past few weeks is Iran's inexperience and rather discomfort when it comes down to direct military engagements against another state. And it's quite understandable, because the very reason why Iran has created its proxy network to begin with was to avoid direct military confrontations. However, now we are at a situation where a high-ranking member of the Axis of Resistance, as they call it, has been assassinated on Iranian soil, which forces Iran sooner or later to react if they wish to retain rather that image of this powerful overlord. However, the US has continuously sent more of its assets into the region: airstrike carriers, additional naval assets, amphibious warfare groups. So it's posturing up, and it stands as a deterrent towards Iran and says, look, whatever you're about to do, we will retaliate that effort with overwhelming, devastating power that you're not prepared to defend against, that you won't have the resources to defend against, and it's going to do a lot of damage to not just your military infrastructure, but also to your long-term ambitions. So Iran finds itself in a very disadvantageous predicament. It understands that the longer it waits, the less feasible options it's left with. Because Israel, right now, even though it's diplomatically forced to remain on the defensive by its allies, has the momentum. It has launched preemptive campaigns targeting Hezbollah, targeting Hamas, targeting militias within Syria, targeting militias within Yemen. The US is reinforcing its security posture within the region. So the longer you're delaying, it won't, and this is something that's incredibly idiotic in my opinion, it won't bolster your element of surprise as the Iranians claim. No, it will only take away from it. There is no element of surprise here. We know the retaliatory effort is coming. So you've lost the element of surprise right from the get-go. There never was an element of surprise, which is incredibly disadvantageous for the Iranians because, well, for one, Israel is militarily superior in almost every aspect of warfare. And second, we have the United States, who is just sending more of these assets into the region to further deter any retaliatory effort. On the other hand, we have a nervous proxy network that's growing impatient, that wishes for its overlord to project the power that it always claimed it had. So, strategically, Iran is committing one blunder after another. And again, it's exposing its inexperience when it comes down to strategic warfare. What Iran is very good at is asymmetrical efforts in times of peace or relative tension, not full-out war. Now it needs to enter the fray directly if it wishes to save face, meaning it's gonna willingly oppose a superior adversary and an even more superior ally to that adversary. So it's very interesting to see how the situation will develop and what kind of impact it will have on Iran's proxy network and the unity it enjoys within. So my prediction is that Hezbollah in particular is going to look to attack Israel more and more on its own terms in the near future, might link up with Iranian efforts in the long term, but as of right now they seem to deviate from waiting for Iran to commit a retaliatory attack and just going at it alone, hoping to commit some sort of damage towards Israel's military infrastructure. However, given Israel's preemptive strikes, given the profound and concise intelligence they had at their disposal, and given the efficiency of their aerial defensive systems in this endeavor, in this recent event, just shows that the chance of successes of Hezbollah going at it alone are, well, very slim and won't elicit or execute or bring about, rather, the damage that Hezbollah believes it may. So it's a very interesting development that we're seeing right now, and one that we definitely need to keep an eye upon. What I do believe that Hezbollah will attempt to do in the future is infiltrate Israeli territory through its Radwan units, elicit the defenses there, try to get a proper recce, proper reconnaissance, a proper picture of those defenses, and aim to evade or manipulate them in somehow to increase their success ratio. However, as I've said before, Israel is prepared. It knows that the retaliatory effort, not just from Iran, but from its counter proxies within the region, is coming, is impending. So it won't be like 7 October, where Israeli borders are just being overwhelmed and that the Israelis have to react post-haste in order to quell the outbreak of violence. There won't be a situation like that, I can guarantee you. The borders are secure, the military units are in place, and as of right now, like I said, Israel has the momentum. Israel is launching preemptive strikes and will most likely continue to do so in order to further mitigate the options of the axis of resistance regarding this retaliatory effort that they so highly preach about all the time. So this is all I wanted to share with you today. As of right now, what I believe is, like I said, that the proxies will most likely seek to launch independent campaigns against Israel or US assets within the region, aside from Iran, and that when Iran eventually decides to launch an attack, we'll link up with them. But like I said, the chances of success for any Iranian retaliatory effort are slinking with each passing day that Israel is initiating preemptive campaigns and that the US is increasing its security posture within the region. Thanks again for listening to this clip. If you have any comments for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you wish to engage with me in some sort of discussion, you're always free to reach out to me directly. I wish to disseminate more content to you guys in the near future, and I hope you'll be around for that as well. Once again, thank you and have a blessed day.